Welcome one and all to day 15 of this Pilates challenge. We're going to mix up HIIT with Pilates, which means that we're going to be exercising at a higher intensity, but there is no jumping in this one. So it's still going to be low impact, but high intensity exercising. For the main workout, we'll be looking at 40 seconds exercise with 10-second rest. So very short rest compared to the work. But for that, beautiful thing about this challenge is you can always pause it, stop it, and join in when you are ready. During this class, remember to stay with the breath, stay connected, and maintain good posture and form throughout. Most importantly, stay hydrated and find that control in your movement. Okay, so we're going to get started. All we need is a mat, nice clear space, and we're going to begin with our warm-up. So we're going to take a nice big stretch overhead, and I want you to take the left hand around the right wrist, ground both heels, and as you exhale, shifting your torso over to the left, stretching and opening the right side of the body. Draw your upper shoulder back to open the chest. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, change grip, and send the arms over to the right. Let's do that one more time each side. Lengthen through the spine with the inward breath and change side. Inhale, lengthen, change side. Last time. Find that length through the spine, and then float the arms down as we come into a forward fold. Relax through the shoulders. And then inhale, lengthen through the spine. And we're going to take the left hand and twist, reaching for the sun. So opening the chest, extending and stretching through the fingertips, and then float the arm down to the ground. And we're going to work on the other side. Open the chest, nice and broad, and float the hands down. Let's do it one more time each side. And one final time. You're looking for a beautiful stretch through the mid and the lower back. Float the hands down. Heel toe the feet slightly wider, turning the toes out, and then sink the hips down as you sit into your squat, opening through the hips nice and deep. Find length through the spine. And then as you inhale, send the tailbone up, chest down. Stretching out the back of the legs. Then inhale, bend through the knees, chest up. So as we work through these frog squats, you're stretching out the back of the spine, down through the back of the legs. We're warming up the legs, mobilizing the ankles, knees, and thighs. Last one. We're going to finish in this forward fold. Then the heel toe the feet in, hip width apart. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, set the hands down, step back into a plank. And then send the hips down to the ground, chest comes up. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you inhale, send the hips up and back for down dog. And then we're going to take the right leg up and back and then shift forwards, knee to chin, set the right foot down. And I want you to float the back knee down to the ground. And then we're opening the chest by sending the right arm up to the sky, twisting towards the right leg, sinking the hips down into the ground. Circle the arm overhead, place it on the inside of the front foot, step back into plank, and then let's shift to downward dog. Lift the left leg up and draw the knee into chin. Set the left foot down. and bring the right knee down to the ground. Hip opener on the opposite side. Circle the arm overhead. And we're going to transition through plank, down dog. Send the right leg up. Draw the knee to chin. Set the right foot down outside of the hands. And one more time on each side. Open the chest, stretch through the arm. Hips down towards the ground. Circle the arm overhead, back down. One final time. So we should be nice and warm now. Mobile and limber. So we're coming into a standing position. Through downward dog. Bend through the knees. And then walk the feet to hands. Forward fold. Roll up through the spine. And roll the shoulders back. Nice big circles back. So shaking out the wrists, shake out the shoulders and arms just to loosen up, and feel free to give the legs a shake before we get started. We're going into the main bulk of this practice today. We have 2 circuits to work through. The first is a squat reach, so find your feet hip width. Extend the arms overhead as you sit back into your squat, back nice and straight. Exhale, stand, press back. Reach over the head in your squat, and then push the arms back as you stand. Squeezing through the tops of the thighs, grounding through the heels and the balls of the feet. One final squat. Big push through both legs. Bring the hands to the waist, and then take the left heel off of the floor, hips level, and then sit into your squat. Float the arms forward, stand, press the hands back, and float the arms forward. So we're going for this squat with one heel lifted, toes down for support, but you're looking to keep that stability as you stand and sit into your squat. Keep the hips nice and level. That was the purpose of placing the hands on the hips to begin with. And if you feel like you lose that alignment, then always check in with yourself. Last one. Stand out of your squat and then float the heel down. Opposite leg, right heel off of the ground. Check in with your alignment and then sit back into your squat. Float the arms forward, chest stays up. As you float the arms forward, relax through the shoulders. Maintain that stability. Let that left leg work. You're doing well. Keep it going. One more squat down and stand. Then float the heel back down to the ground. Shake it out. So we're walking to the top of our mat for plank walkouts. We're actually walking the legs in and out. So fold or roll down through the spine. Set the hands down on the ground. Step back. Tiny steps all the way back into your plank. And then walk the feet forwards into your forward fold. Roll up through the spine. And then roll down. So tiny steps as you walk back into your plank. Strong plank, hold, and then walk it back in. Tucking the knees into the chest as you come up out of your plank. Last one. Beautiful work. So set the knees down as we come into tabletop. Knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. We're going to draw the right leg back, lift, and then pull the knee across the body to crunch, extend. So you try and twist into your obliques. If you find that you don't have enough space, then feel free to adjust. But you really want to twist as you draw the knee in, and you're pushing through both arms to lift the chest away from the ground, and that's creating that space. Last one, and then bring the knee back down to the ground. Feel free to shake off the wrist as we transition onto the other side. Set the hands down into tabletop. Extend through the leg and then draw in across the body. Really press into both arms. Stay connected with the breath. 10 seconds. And just like me, I've noticed that I was crunching in my shoulders, so just relaxing through the shoulders for one final crunch, and then return the knee to the ground. Shake off the wrists, and we're going into push-ups. So you want to keep your hips just behind, your knees just behind the hips. Squeeze the elbows in as your hands are behind, beneath the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows in, lower down to the ground. Big push through the chest, lowering all the way down to the ground for a back extension. Release the hands off of the ground, lift the thighs and the chest, lower down, push off the ground. So slow control as you lift chest and thighs, big squeeze, and then press. One more, push up and extension. And take a moment, come off of the wrists. So transitioning onto our buttocks, feet down on the ground, hip width apart, hands by your chest, twist through your torso as though you're trying to get your elbow towards the ground for twists. Spine nice and long. Keep your feet grounded. If you want to add a little bit more to the challenge, then feel free to bring the legs into tabletop. Twist through the torso. Don't lead with the arms. Try and lead with the chest and the abdomen. One final twist. Set the feet down and roll down onto your back. Extend the arms over the head for roll up. Peeling the back of the head, shoulders off the body, off the mat. Lost my words. Extend through the spine, then roll down by tucking your tailbone, floating the arms overhead. So you want to keep the back of the legs grounded as you roll down, and you're using your core to roll up through the spine, keeping the legs grounded. Final roll up, relax through the shoulders, and shake out the legs. So we're going to transition onto our feet for the next set of movements. And you have a very short break before we get stuck in. We have a back lunge with a curtsy. So we're working on one side to begin with. And you're going to join in the next 20 seconds. So your back lunge, hips level, hands on your waist. Take a step back, bend through the knees. And as you stand, lift off the back leg and step behind you. Curtsy lunge. So working on one side, step in for your lunge and step across for your curtsy. In 3, 2, 1, join in. So you're looking for stability and control here. Do not rush this exercise. Bending through both knees, chest up nice and tall. Step back just behind the forward leg. So there's lots of stability work here. Don't let the knees touch the ground. It just floats above. That front thigh is working as hard as it can. If you find that you're losing stability, perhaps just losing that connection with the breath and that focus. Last one, to stand, shake off that front leg. Sip some water very quick if you need it, and then opposite side. So set back into your lunge, nice and tall through the spine, bend through both knees, and then come up onto the front leg, transition into your curtsy. Beautiful work. Keep it going. Keep that focus. Last one. And stand. Shake out the legs. Coming down onto the ground. In tabletop. Hands beneath the shoulders. Knees beneath the hips. Float the knees 2 inches off of the ground. And then we're keeping a right angle. Bend through the leg as we lift to kick. Tap the toes down and lift to kick. Press the chest away from the ground. Option to float both knees down to the ground and use one for support. But you're squeezing your buttocks as you press the heel up to the sky. Use the breath. One final kick. Return foot to the ground. Float the knees down. Take a moment to breathe, catch your breath, and then join in. Come back into tabletop. Float the knees off of the ground. Opposite side. So there's loads of core work happening here. We're trying to keep the hips and shoulders stable so the spine remains straight. We're working through the glutes. Oh, I'm shaking, just like you. One final kick, nice and strong, stable, beautiful. Float down. We're coming onto our belly in a back extension position, and we have Superman with a lat pull. So forehead on the floor, taking your arms overhead, squeeze the thighs together, and then lift the chest and the thighs. Draw the elbows down towards the hips. Extend the arms overhead, lower down. So you're squeezing into your lats and your upper back, rhomboid, while lifting off the ground, squeezing the back of the thighs. Last time. In control. So shift back into child's pose, just to stretch it off. Then inhale, come back onto your belly, and bring the hands behind you, palms facing down. Lift the chest, keep the thighs down. Begin to pulse the arms, squeeze the triceps. Chest comes up nice and high. Ground the tops of the hips into the floor. Reaching the fingertips to the back of the mat, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Keep pumping, keep pumping. One final pump, pause, roll down. Press the hands up, and we're coming onto our backs. So rolling like a ball. Bring your position to the top of your mat. Squeeze the thighs in and lift the feet off the ground. Relax the shoulders. You're looking for a C curve through the spine as you roll back and forth like a ball. Try to use your core for this. So you're pulling the belly button into the spine. Use it as a nice massage of the lower back. One final roll. Come up into a seated position and then set the feet down and extend through the legs. So quick shake out of the legs, then bring the feet hip width apart. Hands behind you, fingertips facing towards your heels. And we're going into a reverse tabletop with dips. Let's take a deep breath in, lift through the hips, squeezing the buttocks and pushing through both arms. Bend through the elbows and then squeeze to pump the triceps. So it should feel like a little bit of a dip and squeeze. For all that tension focusing on the tops of the arms. Keep the core engaged. Strong push through both arms. We're almost there. You're doing really well. Final one, big squeeze. Slowly set the hips down. Extend through the legs. Shake out the wrists. And then extend both arms overhead. Fold forward. And inhale. Breathe into the lower back. Well done. You did a good job to make it through all of those exercises. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. So we have one final exercise to work through just to bring it all together. This is your little surprise finisher. We're coming onto our forearm, setting the hips down, and we're flexing flexing our feet and then grounding the balls of our feet into the mat. Place the forehead down on the ground. And as you inhale, engage the core and then push through the arms, lifting the hips and knees and chest off of the ground. So from here, you are shifting your weight forwards and then pushing the weight back, stretching through the calves as you slide back. Forwards, send the shoulders towards the fingertips and back. So you want to squeeze your glutes and squeeze your abs to engage your core. You should be making this nice smooth line from the crown of your head to the heels. And we're here for another 30 seconds. Stay with the breath. And last one, shift forwards, shift back, come back to center, set the hips down, and gently point the toes, push through the forearms to lift the chest, stretching out the abs, hips stay down on the ground, and slowly roll down through the spine. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders, gently rock out the hips, and then push up and back
into child's pose. So walk the fingertips away from the bottom of the mat. Then set the elbows down, bring the palms together and bend at the elbows, creating this shark's fin, and stretch out the triceps. And relax the arms down. Inhale, roll up through the spine to finish off this very sweaty but good workout. Thank you very, very much for your time and attendance, your effort today. It's been a beautiful, beautiful experience, and you've had some beautiful energy. So take that into the rest of your day, whatever you're deciding to do. And until tomorrow, you stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Peace.